We go down to the last car on the train. There are chairs and couches to sit on. But what's wonderful is that the back window retracts into the ceiling, so you're riding outside in the fresh air. You can see the wide sweep of the landscape, huge open fields with herds of dairy cattle grazing in them. So unlike our heavily wooded home. We slow slightly. I think we might be coming in for another stop, when the fences rise up before us, towering at least 35 feet in the air, topped with wicked coils of barbed wire. It makes ours back in District 12 look childish. My eyes quickly inspect the base, which is lined with enormous metal plates. There would be no burrowing into those, no escaping to hunt. Then I see the watchtowers, placed evenly, manned with armed guards, so out of place among the fields of wildflowers around them. That's something different, says Peta. Rue did give me the impression that the rules in District 11 were more harshly enforced, but I never imagined something like this. Now the crops begin, stretched out as far as the eye can see. Men, women, and children wearing straw hats to keep the sun straightened up, turned our way, take a moment to stretch their backs as they watch our train go by. I can see orchards in the distance, and I wonder if that's where Rue would have worked, collecting fruit from the slimmest branches at the tops of the trees. Small communities of shacks, by comparison, the houses in the seams are upscale, spring up here and there, but they're all deserted. Every hand must be needed for the harvest. On and on it goes. I can't believe the size of District 11. How many people do you think live here? Peta asks. I shake my head. In school, they referred to it as the largest district. That's all. No actual figures of on the population. But those kids we can see on camera waiting for the reaping each year, they can't be but a sampling of the ones who actually live here. What do? Have a preliminary drawing? Pick the winners ahead of time and make sure they're in the crowd? How exactly did Rue end up on that stage with nothing but the wind offering to take her place? I begin to weary of the vastness, the emptiness of this place. When Effie comes to tell us to dress, I don't object. I go to my compartment and let the prep team do my hair and makeup. Cinna comes in with a pretty orange frock patterned with autumn leaves. I think how much Peta would like the color. Effie gets Peta and me together and goes through the day's programs one last time. In some districts, the victors ride through the cities while residents cheer. But in 11, maybe because there's not much of a city to begin with, things being so spread out, or maybe because they don't want to waste so many people while the harvest is on, the public appearance is confined to the square. It takes place before their Justice Building, a huge marble structure. Once it must have been a thing of beauty, but time has taken its toll. Even on television, you can see the ivy overtaking the crumbling facade, the sag of the roof. The square itself is ringed with run-down storefronts, most of which are abandoned. Wherever the well-to-do live in District 11, it's not here. Our entire public appearance will be staged outside on what Effie refers to as the veranda, the tiled expanse between the front doors and the stairs that is shaded by a roof supported by columns. Peta and I will be introduced. The mayor of 11 will read a speech in our honor and will respond with the scripted thank you provided by the Capitol. If a victor had any special allies among the dead tributes, it is considered good form to add a few personal comments as well. I should say something about Rue, and Thresh too, but really, every time I try to write at home, I end up with a blank paper staring me in the face. It's hard for me to talk about them without getting emotional. Fortunately, Peeta has a little something worked up, and with a slight alteration, it can count for both of us. At the end of the ceremony, we will be presented with some sort of plaque. Then we'll withdraw to the Justice Building, where a special dinner will be served. As the train is pulling into District 11 station, Cinna puts the finishing touches on my outfit, switching my orange hairband for metallic gold, and securing the Mockingjay pin I wore in the arena to my dress. There's no welcoming committee on the platform, just a squad of 8 peacekeepers who direct us into the back of an armored truck. Effie sniffs as the door clanks closed behind us. "Really? You'd think we were all criminals," she says. "No, not all of us, Effie. Just me, I think." The truck lets us out at the back of the Justice Building. We are hurried inside. I can smell an excellent meal being prepared, but it doesn't block out the odors of mildew and rot. They've left us no time to look around. As we make a beeline for the front entrance, I can hear the anthem beginning outside in the square. Someone clips a microphone on me, and Peeta takes my left hand. The mayor's introducing us as the massive doors open with a groan. "Big smiles," Effie says, and gives us a nudge. Our feet start moving forward. This is it. This is where I have to convince everybody how in love I am with Peeta, I think. The solemn ceremony is pretty tightly mapped out, so I'm not sure how to do it. It's not a time for kissing, but maybe I can work in one. There's loud applause, but none of the other responses we got in the Capitol. The cheers and the whoops and the whistles. We walk across the shaded veranda until the roof runs out. We're standing at the top of a big flight of marble stairs in the glaring sun. My eyes adjust. I see the buildings on the square have been hung with banners that help cover up their neglected state. It's packed with people, but again, just a fraction of the number who live here. As usual, a special platform has been constructed at the bottom of the stage for the families of the dead tributes. On Thresh's side, there's only an old woman with a hunched back and a tall, muscular girl, I'm guessing his sister. On Rue's, I'm not prepared for Rue's family. Her parents, whose faces are still fresh with sorrow. Her 5 younger siblings who resemble her closely. The slight builds, the luminous brown eyes. They form a flock of small, dark birds. The applause dies out, and the mayor gives the speech in our honor. 2 little girls come up with tremendous bouquets of flowers. Peeta does his part of the scripted reply, and then I find my lips moving to conclude it. Fortunately, my mother and Prim have drilled me so I can do it in my sleep.